Welcome back, tribe. You're about to see a video of the private community where we're having a discussion around a topic that is titled, Every Day You Have to Put the Armor On, Whether the Arrows Are Falling from the Sky or Not. Hope you guys enjoyed today's chat. If you wanted to be a part of conversations like this, links are in the description below for the private community, and we'd love to have you. Enjoy. So I'll read this one and then we'll go open forum. Every day you have to put the armor on, whether the arrows are falling from the sky or not. And I write, let's get real for a second. Life's a battlefield, and every morning when you wake up, you've got two choices. Strap on your armor or let the world tear you apart. It doesn't matter if you woke up feeling invincible or if the day's already kicking you in the teeth before you've even had your coffee. This isn't some fairy tale where everything aligns perfectly and you just glide through. It's a grind, and most people fail because they're only ready to fight when it's easy. But when life's raining down arrows, that's when you truly find out what you're made of. The reality is your goals don't care about your mood. Your dreams don't care if you had a rough night or if you're overwhelmed. You got to armor up day in and day out, no matter what. Think of it like suiting up for battle. Whether the enemy's charging at you or it's dead quiet, you've got to be prepared. Because the moment you slip up, the moment you decide today's not worth the effort, that's when life hits you the hardest. It's when you're not looking that you get blindsided. And the next thing you know, you're on your back wondering what the hell went wrong. Most people crumble because they're not disciplined enough to fight when the arrows start falling. They're chasing their dreams with a glass jaw, looking for the perfect day where everything's smooth. But guess what? The day doesn't exist. Every day is a test, and most people fail because they let the smallest inconvenience stop them. Oh, I'm tired. Oh, I got bad news. Oh, someone said something that hurt my feelings. Boo-hoo. If you're always waiting for conditions to be perfect, you're never going to get anywhere. That's why you have to be ready to go to war every day, whether the sun's shining or the sky's full of arrows. You know what separates the winners from the losers? It's not talent. It's not luck. It's consistency. It's showing up every damn day, putting in the work, even when everything inside you is screaming to quit. Your mind is your worst enemy. Always looking for the easy way out, always trying to convince you to take the day off, to skip the gym, to push that project to tomorrow. You've got to learn to shut that voice up, to fight back with everything you've got. You've got to put on the armor and face the day with the mentality that nothing and no one is going to stop you. Picture this. You wake up and instead of giving in to the temptation to hit snooze or start the day scrolling through your phone, you immediately gear up. You've got your list, your goals mapped out, and you know exactly what needs to be done. The world might be against you today, but you've made a decision. No matter what comes your way, you're pushing forward. You've got the armor on tight and you're ready for whatever. Your mission is clear and you're not swayed by the noise around you. The goal is unbreakable in your mind, and every step you take, every task you complete is one more step closer to victory. Here's the harsh truth. No one's coming to save you. Not your friends, not your family, not your favorite motivational speaker. The only one who's going to pull you out of whatever pit you're in is you. You've got to dig deep, harness the inner warrior, and fight your way out. And if you think today's arrows are bad, just wait until tomorrow. Life doesn't give a damn about your plans. It's going to throw curveballs. It's going to test you and it's going to try to break you. But that's why you've got the armor on. Not because you're expecting a fight every day, but because you're ready for one. It's easy to feel motivated when things are going well, but the real test of your character is how you handle yourself when everything goes to hell. Do you stand tall, shield up, and move forward despite the storm? Or do you crumble, drop your sword, and let the arrows pin you to the ground? Every day you don't suit up, you're giving the enemy a chance to hit you where it hurts. And in life, that enemy is complacency, laziness, self-doubt, and whatever name you want to give it. The arrows are going to keep coming. But as long as you've got the armor on, they'll never take you down. So whether you're at the top of your game or barely holding on, remember this. You've got to be your own champion. No one else is going to fight your battles for you. The day you decide to lay down your armor is the day you lose. But as long as you keep getting up, keep pushing, and keep swinging, there's nothing that could stop you. And I wrote, David Goggins has a famous quote that says, you find peace by going to war with yourself. And I asked the guys if you are at peace. If not, be honest and share why. And this is the topic we'll be discussing today. I think the distraction of social media is the worst because although you seem plugged in, you're actually more disconnected from yourself. You're plugged into everything but yourself. If you could think of it that way, you're jacking in your mind into everything but you. That's what social media represents, a distraction from your inner self. So you're never going to be able to, quote, put the armor on, as the posts say, and prepare yourself for the hard days ahead because you're constantly spending every single day outside of yourself. You don't have a path. You don't have a purpose. You don't understand your position in life or what the point of everything is because you're jacked into that internet that's basically lighting up your way. But it's not, it's the algorithm that's designed to keep you there, trapped, based on, how emotional you get on a negative post. But guys never picture themselves I say, crystallizing that image of who you want to be. Never. A guy can't tell, where do you want to be in 5 years? Where do you want to be in 10 years? Okay, great. If everybody could do this, if I ask you, where do you want to be 5 years from now, 10 years from now, 20 years from now, 1 year from now, we got from 1 to 20 years, a game plan. Okay. And I draw it up on a whiteboard and I say, in the 1 year, what do you want to do? And then you list me out things. I want to lose weight, gain weight. I want to go study for this. I want to finish schooling for this. And I go, cool. Okay. Gain weight, lose weight, whatever. What are we going to do? By how much? And in what time frame? And then a guy, if we run through a person's life just like that and go, I want to lose 30 pounds in the next 3 months. And I'm going to do, finish up these classes and these certifications within the next 6 months. And we go through that step by step. And I build out your life's path on a whiteboard. You now have a purpose. You now have a direction in life. And every day you wake up, as you move towards the purpose, as your actions align with your goals, that's when you're going to achieve any semblance of happiness, man. That's when you'll be mentally stable for the first time in your life. You're not going to have this like overarching anxiety, this low level nervousness. You're going to feel confident. You're going to feel like what you're doing for is worth it. Everything in life that you're pursuing right now is towards a singular point, the goal, which you have crystallized in your brain. A lot of guys are kind of floating in the ether right now. Like, I don't know what I want to do. I have a lot of questions. I need help. I don't know where to begin. When is the last time you retreated into yourself, turned everything off, and started asking yourself these real questions and building out, mapping your future? Everyone has the answers already. This is what people don't understand. You don't have to look outside of yourself. The answer's already there. Shine a light on it. This is the whole point of disconnecting. You know deep down inside what you want to do in life. You're just not, like proverbially flipping the rock over to look underneath and find your answer because you distract yourself with social media, because you distract yourself with video games or porn, or you're in a career that you hate, but it pays well. So you don't want to flip the rock over and see what's underneath the truth of what you want to do. Cause hey, it's a consistent paycheck. You're safe. It's the security. But deep down inside, you're being eaten up alive doing the thing that you don't want to do. You're living other people's dreams, essentially. Like they've injected into you everything that they've wanted to be. Like parents pushing their kids to do something, like be a doctor, be an engineer, be something, right? It's like that's what the parents wanted to do but never achieved. So then they push their kids to do that. Well, have you ever let your kid retreat into themselves and figure out what they're good at, what they'd like to do? Has a kid ever had a chance to discover? We're basically kids in adult bodies, guys. We've never had a chance because of social media, maybe bad parenting, troubled household, whatever it is. We have to rediscover who we are and what we like to do in this world. Once you find that out and you retreat into yourself, you can begin mapping this so-called life of yours, and you can begin taking actionable steps day in and day out to get there. This is where people have this so-called anxiety, the depression, all these crippling mental health issues is because you have no purpose. It's because people don't know what the fuck they're supposed to do with their life. That's a very harsh place to be in. And then we numb you with pharmacologicals that make you numb to everything. So not only do your emotions go away through powerful chemicals, but so does your potential to dream. The world turns gray because we're not fixing the root of the problem. It's just addressing the symptom. I have feelings. Well, great. Why do you feel this way? Nope. Give him a drug, numb him up. And then the rest of you disappears as well. You get lost in that. So in another part of this, by the way, when you do find your path, or you do get your purpose or whatever the fuck it is, you finally something coalesces in that cloud in your brain and you begin to form a little image. Understand that this battle, you're going to be going through this shit until the day you're dead. There is no such thing as retirement, guys. Get rid of that shit of one day I'll be good. One day I get to kick my feet up and it ends. The shit will never end. You will be 60, you will be 70, you will be 80, looking for purpose, looking for something to do. It's human nature. You're a machine. Whether you achieved your goal or on the way still, you're going to have to build another one eventually. This is what life is. You never stop putting armor on. You fight until you're dead. Okay? Understand that. Like really visualize that, because a lot of guys will wait on everything to be perfect, will wait on other people to give them the answers. Got to get good sleep. I got to feel good. I have to eat good, and then I'll finally take action. And that's not, life will never wait. It's going to pass you by. Nothing's ever going to go as planned. There's always going to be obstacles. And then finally, when you do reach a goal, don't get trapped into thinking this is all there is. You just reached one goal of many. Build another one. Build another one. You got to keep moving forward. Keep marching like an army does. One foot in front of the other. What's the goal? You just won a battle, but the war is not over. The war is your entire life. You've won a battle. The war never ends. It ends when you're dead. If you can visualize that, if you could build a mental picture of that in your life and understand that there is no peace ever, so that you constantly have to be ready for battle. And then you begin to maybe understand why you get up in the morning and fight so hard for everything you have. Because, and the Navy SEALs say this too, and it's one of my favorite quotes, the only easy day was yesterday. If you can crystallize that thought in your head, the only easy day was yesterday. The only easy day was yesterday. You're going to like callous your mind. You're going to build so much, how do you sound, like a thick skin, a resistance to hardship, because yesterday was probably hard for some of you. And maybe last week was extremely difficult for some. And maybe you had a life-altering event maybe a month ago. If you could just remember these things, the only easy day was yesterday. If you can flip that thought process of, fuck, I just went through so much shit yesterday and that was an easy day, dude, conquering tomorrow becomes a cinch in your mind. You're already starting the day off in a positive mindset of, damn, if all that shit I accomplished yesterday or went through yesterday or all the pressure that was applied to me and I lived through it and that was an easy day, right? It's all a mind game, guys. You have to see this shit. It's all one big mind game. The guy who loses is the guy who speaks negatively about himself. You've already destroyed your chances at success. You know, the warrior within hears everything. That's really what it is. You speak negatively about yourself, you only hurt yourself. You don't even have to say this stuff out loud. Just thinking it will zap you of energy. You know, how many guys here have had a great idea and then they talk themselves out of actually taking actions every day and going after it? It could have been starting a business and you talked yourself out of it because then you really started thinking a little bit after forming the initial light bulb moment idea. But I don't know how to do this. But then I have to start LLC and how would I find clients? That shit is part of the process. You deal with those issues as they come up later. You build on the initial thread, the idea that you had, then you flesh it out. And the obstacles that come forward, like finding clients, marketing, all that shit, whatever it is, if we're speaking just business sense, you figure out as the problems come. But the point is, the problems all have solutions as long as you never stop, one foot in front of the other. It only ends when you stop, when you take the armor off, when you stop breathing. That's it. You're not a failure because you've had an obstacle. It's a setback on your long journey. When you go hiking, for any of you that have went hiking or off trail or anything, there are difficult parts of the trail. Maybe you have to scale a fucking wall or something. Maybe a tree fell. Maybe a bunch of shrubs and all this shit overgrowth. And now the trail has switched directions and maybe you have to go slightly off trail. That's an obstacle. It doesn't mean you turn back, go back to your car, the trip's over. It's just, oh, cool. Let's just climb over these rocks then. That was unexpected. Is it going to take longer now? Yeah, we probably added another 20 minutes to our walk. Who gives a shit? Wow, we're taking the scenic route. That's what you can consider it like that in your mind. I'm taking the scenic route. I'm learning how to do this from scratch. Nobody told me how to do all this shit and market. Guess I'm going to learn how to market today. What a beautiful thing. There's a million videos about how to market your business on YouTube by people. Then use the AIs to help you build out a plan and marketing your business specifically. What a beautiful thing. It's a beautiful problem to have, and it has a solution. But if you inundate your mind with like, oh my God, marketing, and it's like such an umbrella term that I have no idea what it means, and I don't know how am I ever going to acquire clients, and I don't know anything about marketing, and is this even worth chasing? What if I lose all my money, and blah, 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 and then that thread gets pulled in the most negative fashion ever, and it spirals out of control to the point where you never even begin the business. So many men are in this position all the time. It just takes one seedling of doubt to grow into something like an impenetrable wall where a guy never begins. Mind games. Okay. I'll ask you guys the question here at the end for everybody listening. If you want to be brave and share, don't be a fucking pussy. That's why you're in the call anyway, for the quiet ones. Says, are you at peace? If not, be honest and share why. Very simple question. It ends with this, so I'll read this again. It says, no one else is going to fight your battles for you. The day you decide to lay down your armor is the day you lose. But as long as you keep getting up, keep pushing, keep swinging, there's nothing that can stop you. And then the David Goggins quote is, you find peace by going to war with yourself. And the question is, are you at peace? It's a rhetorical because none of you are at fucking peace. None of us are. If not, be honest and share why. So who here has some fucking massive balls and are willing to share some weaker points of their life and why they don't feel as safe or safe at all on shaky foundations? Go ahead. Be real.
I'll start then. In my case, we'll be completely honest. I'm not at peace. I've been very comfortable, and yes, I didn't even like the struggling part is something that I haven't been used to because I always want that notion of like taking the easy way out. It always happens, skipping gym and all any stuff like that would be the easy way out, and like taking a break and all that. And And no, that doesn't really work. I mean, we do have methods to relax our mind to learn and process, like what we were learning with psycho-cybernetics. That does help a bunch, the quiet room and stuff. But yeah, in my case, like not achieving certain goals or not being in when doing something at a time period, or that question that you said earlier about looking at myself in 5 years, 20 years, 1 year. I hated when I was asked that question because I just wanted to be in my bubble. In my case, I didn't have social media, especially when that question was brought up. I wasn't in it, and it wasn't even big by my by my time. But I get distracted with video games, for example. That's mine.
Hmm.
And yes, it does numb you. It got to the point, like for example, when I do my morning routine side, I don't want to even touch it because I want to focus on doing even walking, exercise, something to not get distracted by that. I instead want to get distracted with something else, like reading, and that really does fulfill me compared to this that numbs me. And yes, you were right about the dopamine, that it does also mess up your dopamine, like the whole day. If you start playing early, which I have first-hand experience, and you won't really have that much energy for the rest of the day.
Hmm.
So yeah, in my case would be that didn't want to visualize, just want to stick in a escapist present would be
Hmm.
the word that I would use, and stuck in the past trying to fix things and not letting myself sleep because of
So
those
what do you
emotional
fear?
carryovers.
What do you fear?
Me?
What's making you not at peace? Yes, but get me in there. Get me in. No generalities. What is the thing that you're fearing right now that's causing you anxiety?
If I'm thinking of something specific, like I try to be concrete. Yeah, being taking that step forward, it would be. Oh, yeah, I know. Dropping those habits, like dropping video games, for example, would be one. And now I think about it, not even I haven't taken again the Spartan challenge because of that, because I don't want to drop. Even though that little, like that toe dipping that you mentioned a little while ago,
Hmm.
yeah, that would be my big one.
Why are you afraid to give up
That's
video games? You have the answer. Brutal truth. Say it. Say it out
no, no,
loud.
no,
Let's
no,
hear.
no. No.
Uh,
I'm actually trying to be honest with myself. Am I
yeah.
really even afraid of doing that? That's what I was asked a question like that before. Like, am I
Yeah.
really afraid? Yeah, no, no, really.
What are you avoiding? What do video games give you? They give you something. What are they distracting you from?
Escape,
What's
escape.
pulling at you?
Yeah. You're saying that. You're saying the correct word. The
Yeah.
distractions,
What is it
and
distracting you from?
you know what? From actually taking that next step, the one that I want to be and being out of my home,
Hmm.
living with my parents, for example, because I'm 30 and I haven't really done that, and actually growing up, staying stuck in that quote that you mentioned earlier about kid in an adult. No, yeah, a kid in an adult body.
Yes.
Yeah.
So you feel like a kid. You're stuck with your parents. You're not your own
Yeah.
man. You're not independent.
Yeah.
There
Yeah.
it is.
Yes.
And video
Yes.
games, that's
Yeah.
your anxiety you deal with day in and day out. You feel like you're a failure to launch, basically. Like you're stuck depending on mommy and daddy. You should be a man with your own place, standing on your own 2 feet, and that you're wasting your life away by this time. There's the real string that we just found. So that's what you have to pull on. So now you understand every time you play video games is to escape the feeling of that exact thought that you're having. So understand where that pain is coming from and why you don't want to give up video games. Because what's happening if you were to go on a walk or go to the gym or start to whatever it is, take the classes you need or do extra hours at work? What is that challenging directly? It's the very fear you have, which is that's the
Yeah.
pain. That's the pain. Exactly. Of like, oh fuck, I'm actually going to have to let go of the safe place. Because if I keep working this hard, I'm going to actually become independent and I won't be needing them anymore. And I don't have to do this bare minimum that I'm doing today because it's nice to have this fallback and this help. Yeah. Because if you busted your fucking ass today, if you started working the extra hours, if you started doing whatever certifications you needed, investing in yourself in whatever way you needed in your body and all that stuff, you know that on the other side of the door is the exact life that you actually want, but you're afraid to walk through and have because you're comfortable. You're in the box. It's fun. It's nice, dude. It's nice to be around family. It's nice to live with them. It's nice to have a fallback. It's nice to kick my feet up and play video games. In order for me to attain my dreams, I have to bust my fucking ass. It's the hard work I'm afraid of, but I have freedom when I do that. But do you value that freedom more than the complacency, the safety net? You know, what do you value more in your life right now? Right now, by the way you're speaking, currently in your mind, the safety is valued more than the freedom. And unfortunately for you, If you don't play these games, these hypotheticals, you won't get off your ass. What happens if family gets sick and you have to step up? You ever ask yourself that one day, that day is coming soon? Family
No,
will get
they've even
sick.
asked themselves that, and I know they're worried about that.
There it is. You're not suiting up for that day. You know that battle's coming. One day your father, your mother, somebody else in the family is going to get sick. Are you going to be in a position to help? Or are you just going to say, oh, well, we're fucked. That happens to people like us. And then you're going to look back 5-10 years from now, maybe if you're lucky, 15-20, who knows, man? Health is a thing we're all not blessed with forever. But thank God that we have it currently. When that day comes knocking, are you suited up and ready? Don't worry, Dad. Don't worry, Mom. I'll take care of it. The hospital visit, no problem. The medication, not an issue. I'll take care of that. We can get the care we need. Or are you going to be like, oh, fuck, I've been playing 5 fucking years worth of video games these past couple of years. I should have done that certificate. I should have applied for that other job. I should have made that move and got that position, and that fucking, promotion at work and all this other shit. It's like time is flying by, whether you fucking seize the day or not. Now the hard days are coming. That's how I put it in my eyes, dude. My parents are old too. My dad is 68. And I know there's going to be a day that's coming knocking very soon where I might not have my old man anymore and my mother will depend on me. And am I ready for that day? I ask myself that question all the time. I care about my family. I know you care about yours. We come from a society where family values are huge. Think about that when you turn on that fucking video game. Am I going to be that guy that's not going to be able to help his own parents because I want to play Call of Duty or whatever fucking bullshit it was? Is that worth it? How are you going to feel when you get that hospital bill or God forbid he needs a surgery and you guys don't have the money for it? And if they deny him the surgery or whatever the fuck, you need a doctor that will cost more. You need private care to make sure that the quality of care is better. Are you going to be prepared for that day? And what happens if you lose your man, your father, or your mother to something which you could have prevented if you had the money or the connection? You think you're beating yourself up now for playing video games? What the fuck would you do to yourself if you're responsible for an early death of a family member because you're not ready?
And their guilt of seeing me like this. Yeah. And that quote that you were saying, that's what I'm thinking about. Yesterday was the only easy day was yesterday. Now I see what you mean.
Yeah. Everybody else, jump in.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Make it painful. This is what we say when we say visualizing or daydreaming or, thinking about these scenarios. The whole point is that you're using them to spur action, just like that last post that we covered on Monday. This won't become real for you until you really imagine a day where that happens and make it real in your mind. Like it should give you anxiety. It should make you afraid. It should make you fucking so anxious, dude, that every day you feel like you're running out of time. All right. That's how I spur myself into doing shit. I think about worst case scenarios because that's just how I'm wired. Grew up in a very negative environment around very negative, dangerous people. And I was only taught. My brain is wired that way. So I can't affirm to myself positive thoughts. I pull from negativity. There's like a well of negative energy that I've learned to turn into a positive action. Okay, I don't go seeking, video games or the bottom of a bottle or whatever it is to make me feel better. I put myself in these positions psychologically. Now I figured out a little tool that works for me, which is envisioning the worst of the worst things that could possibly happen to me and using that as fuel to make sure I do what I have to do, because it's not just imagination. This day is coming. This is the reality of life, man. One day you will be the one leading the family and it all will rest on your shoulders. Maybe you're not the only child like I am. Maybe you're the oldest brother or the youngest brother. And maybe that, those responsibilities won't fall on your shoulders, but you damn well would like to be in a position where you could help your family. I'm the only child, so I place extra responsibility on my shoulders. There is no brother or sister to help me. So I've concocted in my head that scenario where that day comes. And if I'm not ready, I can lose everything. I can lose the people I care about. So I have no choice for inaction. It doesn't exist in my life because it's guaranteed the day is coming. It's not like a figment of your imagination, dude. Your parents will be sick one day for sure. Very rare are we going to live into old age where we don't need medicine or anything goes wrong and you just go peacefully into the night. That's bullshit in the world that we live in today. That's exceedingly rare for that to happen. So really think of it. You already know your family history. You already know some problems that they're dealing with. Your old man may have already showed you some signs, or your mother, like, ow, my shoulder, ow, my back, my stomach. Who knows what that could translate to in the future? Start projecting that image into your mind of what the next 10 years could potentially look like. Build yourself up the armor to be prepared for the day that you may lose your family. You may have to deal with something like that where you're the main bread earner now. You got to take care of your mom. Your dad passed away, something. If you don't make this painful, if you don't make it real to you, because nobody knows what really what makes your clock tick truly but yourself. And you have to go into that deep part and be, make your greatest fear come alive in your mind and use that as fuel to push you forward. I guarantee you will be, when you do this correctly, you're going to be disgusted at pulling out the fucking controller. You can't even fathom the idea of playing a video game another second, dude, because the moment you pick it up and start pressing buttons, you're going to see your father in like a casket or something. Like if you can't put that image in your mind, then nobody will be able to push you through what you need to get to where you need to go. Make it real. Thank you so much for tuning in, guys. If you enjoyed episodes like this and you want to be a part of them, again, links are in the description below. I appreciate everybody that's been subscribed, everybody that tunes in, everybody in the private community, all the people that have been getting private consults as well as shirts that help support the channel directly. If you see this video on the main channel, by the way, it'll be up temporarily and then it goes private for members, just so we can give a bigger audience a view of what we're doing behind the scenes here on the second channel. It's not always talking about society as a whole or women or dating or relationships, but it is about self-improvement, putting in work. And we got guys that are making real everyday steps forward on changing their lives. So if you'd like to be a part of that, please do subscribe, sign up to the channel. Links are all in the description below, as I said earlier. And take care of yourselves, everybody. See you on the next one.